I recently came across a content creator with roughly 60,000 followers across all platforms, and she makes over 6 figures a year in full-time content creation. And I want to talk about what she's doing right and why that is in this video. People are too hung up on numbers, and I want to debunk all the myths around getting 100,000 followers, getting X amount of views. Those things are vanity metrics and do not matter when building a sustainable brand. So if that sounds like something you want to know, make sure you stick around for the rest of this video. If you're new here, my name is Bree, and I'm a brand strategist who's helped content creators, influencers, business leaders, and thought leaders with their online branding and getting to the path of monetization. So let's get into it. First thing I want to do is kind of insert the creator here. This is the creator. If you want to go check out her pages, check out her page from a brand strategist slash like learning mindset and not like you're being a consumer. Once you start viewing content is not the consumer, it's somebody that's trying to learn, you will see how things work in a different light. But I'm also going to put a snippet of the video that I did on TikTok that kind of started circulating. So here it is.
The number one thing people tend to ask me after finding out I make 6 figures from content creation is how do I make that much money when I don't have a lot of followers? And y'all, it's about the content. I don't know why people think you need to have an insane amount of followers to make money in the content creation or influencing world, because that is not the case. Anyone can have 100,000 followers. Anyone can have 1 million followers. There are people with millions of followers who don't make any.
How many times have I said this? But y'all, so the biggest thing that she's doing, guys, is she owns a lane. The majority, I would say 80% of her content is original content. It's not hopping on trends. Everyone thinks the best thing that you can do is to use trending audio all the time, do every IG trend that comes out. And unfortunately, that's not what gets you money. In my group coaching session, I break this down just like this. There are things that feed the algorithm and there are things that feed people, right? That is how your content is split up, right? Trending audio content, hopping on trends, doing things that will help you go viral and get more visibility, that is for the platform. When you're doing something trending audio-y on TikTok, Instagram, wherever, that is for the platform. This is not how you're going to make your money. This is not how you're going to get engaged audience members. Let me give you an example of what that looks like. For example, you hop on an Instagram trend, it goes viral, you get 100,000 views, everybody's liking, they're sending the laughing emoji, blah, blah, blah. How many of those people that commented the laughing emoji actually followed you and actually have tapped into the rest of your content? The problem is we are so busy trying to chase views that we forget that views mean absolutely nothing. They just did a study not too long ago talking about how it's taking some people around roughly 5 to 6 times to come across a creator before they actually follow them. Do you know what that means? That means if you get that viral hit, most of those people are not following you. And if you cannot turn viewers into followers, you cannot turn followers into money. So if we're chasing vanity metrics, that is not going to get you the deals. And if you're a coach like me, that is not going to get you the clients. So that is going to feed the algorithm. Now, the piece of content that I need you guys to really, really work on is your original content. My original content on TikTok is why I've gotten so many clients. My original TikTok is why I've gotten brand deals. All of my original content always does wonders when it comes to money for me. So you have to have an equal amount of original content as you have, if not more. Essentially, really, you should have around 60 to 80% of original content, but I know those numbers fluctuate based on, are you in a season of growth? Are you trying to get more visibility? Because there are times you're gonna need more visibility. There are times I hop on trends or stitch things because I'm like, okay, I need fresh faces on my content, right? But at the same time, I know that they won't be buyers, right? At least at the beginning, but I know that I have to pull in a certain group of people to eventually get them to buy, right? So you have to do the same thing as a content creator. Like, the whole purpose of a brand working with the content creators because they think that they will have a high ROI, right? And that just means return on investment. So if I send you a product, I pay you $1,500 for one reel. We know, okay, this is the audience that so-and-so has, and that is the audience that we are trying to target, right, with this product. That is essentially what a brand is thinking of when they're trying to do a brand deal. So her video did get a little bit of traction because everyone's like, how do you only have that much, followers and you're making 6 figures? She also has a very clear and cut and crisp editing style to where if I did follow her, I would know it's her content on the FYP just scrolling. You have to be able to be seen, heard, and understood within the first 3 seconds of your content. People, for the longest time, when I first got my little kickoff on TikTok, I tell people this all the time, visual identity is everything, whether that's in the editing style, how you look. For the first 3 months of my business being on TikTok, I literally wore the same 3 shirts in all my videos, the same pair of glasses, and the same mic every single time, because my biggest thing was I'd want people to be able to visually identify me before I even speak. Like, oh my gosh, okay, there's Brie, right? Which that eventually did happen. Like, they always knew. Like, one day I didn't have my mini mic and everybody was in the comments like, oh my gosh, Brie, where's your mini mic? Where's your mini mic, right? That is just an association of like the style of content that I make, right? Same thing with this girl, Alana. She has a specific style of like how she edits, everything's so crystal clear, clean, and she's good at voiceover work. If you don't know already, the best way to make money with brand deals is to be a master of storytelling. I do have a storytelling 101 video that I do want you to watch. If you're bad at it, I'll insert it here. But the biggest thing is, guys, you have to be able to storytell well, because that is the only thing that will make you different from someone else online in this era of saturation. People can have the same editing style, people can wear the same clothes, people can review the same products, people can have the same coaching program. What they can't have is the same type of story skills, right? Your experience is yours and yours alone. And if you cannot showcase that through the content, you're gonna have a very hard time creating a community that actually sticks around and cares about your thoughts, cares about what you buy, and actually gets brands to notice you. Another big thing that you can take away from her is her page is brand ready. What do I mean by brand ready? Her content, her bio, her visuals, they all support her niche. Everything is so well packaged. And a lot of you guys, to be quite frank, it just isn't. In my group coaching program that just ended a few weeks ago, I asked everybody, is your page, as of the state it's in right now, do you feel it's brand ready and it could be supported by brands? Everybody said yes. And let me tell you, let me be the first person to tell you, none of their pages were brand ready. I think we think that brand ready just means like, oh, like, yeah, I make fitness content. So yeah, you know, EHP Labs can work with me, or Gymshark can easily work with me. Like, I make gym content. No. That has nothing to do with it, right? So all of them said, I feel that my page is brand ready. And as a brand strategist who has worked on the opposite side, so I've worked on the brand side, none of their pages were brand ready. But we think they're brand ready because, oh, I make a majority of fitness content. But it's not about, it is about specifically how you package the content and what you bring to it. Your niche is not the content. So if you're a fitness creator, you making fitness videos and gym videos, that's not enough. How are you connecting to fitness yourself and making an impact and creating a movement within this space, right? And I know that sounds insane, like, Brie, whoa, you're getting deep. I understand, but it is necessary. The level of competition is too high for anything less. There's a difference between a cluttered feed and clear brand identity. If I go on your page and it doesn't tell a story based off, I always say this, the grid. The grid is 9 photos. The grid is 9 videos, a mix of both, right? If I can't tell what the story is that you're writing within those first 9 posts, you are not brand ready. Another big thing about getting consistent brand deals is making sure that the brand deals you do accept in the beginning actually align. A lot of creators go wrong in the beginning because they're looking for the quickest money immediately. I always tell creators, it is best for you to relax on the brand deals until you actually get notable brands that represent who you are as a brand, right? So let me give you a good example. Love Me is a wig company, right? Love Me targets every black girl that makes even a little sliver piece of content online to promote their products, do wig install videos, all the things. And a lot of women will hop on it because, hello, that's quick money. They'll shoot over $500, $800, whatever, right? That is not good for the sustainability of your brand. Because let's say you make beauty content. You should be working with brands like Ulta, Target, Sephora, whatever, and you work with Love Me. The other brands are going to be confused on what you actually stand for based on your previous paid partnerships. So be mindful of what you take. Also, a lot of brands need to see that you have done partnerships. And what I tell people who haven't done partnerships is you need to do strategic product placement. And let me know if you want a full video on strategic product placement and how to do that seamlessly. But basically, your page needs to serve as a resume to brands. They need to see that you already know what you're doing as far as product placement. If you don't have that currently on your page, good luck getting anything over $1,500 when it comes to a brand deal. And really, and I might make another video about rates specifically. Essentially, you shouldn't be making anything less than about $500 even with one follower, right? Because if you know the market, you know your lane, all of these things, right? And you make good quality content and you have a clear brand identity, that you can charge what you want. And I think that's the problem. There are people, and the girl also said in the video, I know people who have 1 million followers who don't make any money. And so do I. Those same people were in my inbox like, Bria, what am I doing wrong? I have 700,000 followers on Instagram. I don't know why I'm not making money. And it's because they don't have a clear brand identity. They don't have any brand at all. They just post content, and there's a big difference. Another big thing, and I want to speak from the brand side that I've peeped, we can always tell creators who are shooting to go viral versus creators who naturally create content that is just within their brand. What do I mean by that? When people try to post videos, and the intention behind each video is how can I go viral, it is very, very, very apparent to brands. It's very apparent. It's very apparent that you're looking for clicks, you're looking for views, you're looking for likes. Fine, that's awesome. All of us want likes, clicks, and views. But if it's not from the right audience member, it means nothing. So I need you guys to remove the intention of getting followers, getting things, whatever. Every time I produce a piece of content, I never say, oh, I hope I can get 1,000 followers from this. I hope I can get 50 followers from this. I never go in with that intention because that is not the goal. And I know that there is no money behind that intention. There are creators with 500,000 followers, 1 million followers making less than her every single day, but she's able to charge what she wants due to her originality, how she creates content, and how consistent she is within her style of content. You guys have to get to that point where you're consistent with all three of those things. And until then, you won't see the real money that you're wanting to see. So don't let the numbers discourage you from like, oh, I want to quit my job, or I want to have a second source of income, but I only have 10,000 followers. 10,000 followers is more than enough, y'all. It's more than enough. It's about how you package your content. What type of people make up that 10,000 followers, right? Like, I'll share one small brand experience that I've had personally with my business page. I had a brand reach out to me, and you know, I typically make all these advice videos. So content creation advice, content tips, thought leadership, all those things, right? Anything brand building I speak about. And I had a brand reach out to me that was a software company for like product-based businesses, right? And it's such a niche brand, but of course I aligned because I speak to product-based business all the time through the content that I make on TikTok. And I was able to walk away with a very good size check from them based on how well I owned my niche. And at that time, I only had like 10,000 followers on TikTok, which is nothing. And they were still willing to pay me my complete worth. And I know what the worth is based on numbers and working in this field previously. But it's because of how well I own the lane, and I don't come up off of it. You'll never see me make content that does not align with my branding, that does not align with brand strategy, does not align with influencer marketing. Anything outside of that, even though there are times I'm like, dang, I really could comment on this video, or I really could make this up. No, make the content that supports your branding and the money will come. So I hope this was a very educational video and helped you out and kind of encouraged you if you're somebody with a small following and you're like, I feel like I'm not going to be able to monetize until I hit X number. That's not true. And I hope that going forward, you don't think with that mindset and don't create from that place, because you will not make money that way. So if you stay to the end, make sure you drop the secret emoji down below in the comment section. And if you're struggling with trying to figure out what your content pillars are, you don't know where to start, I do have the breakout content system link down below, which is a bunch of resources from my group coaching program just bundled into one. You literally won't need any other help outside of that once you complete it. So that will be linked down below for you. I hope you enjoyed. Once again, make sure you hit the subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.